Sienna God, hello all. Osha Sahia, good evening. Wado, thank you for watching. So this is day 11, part B of Read in Hollywood Babylon by Kenneth Angers. She is lashed by vicious reporting, flogged by editorials, and threatened with being deprived of her child. And of course, it is outraged virtue which screams the loudest. It seems sadistic to me to subject Lana to any more torment. No punishment that could be imagined could hurt her more than the memory of this nightmarish event, and she is condemned to live with this memory to the end of her days. In short, give your heart to the girl with the broken heart, end quote. The publication of Lana's letters created a sensation. They had been given by Mickey Cohen to an editor of the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner as revenge on Lana. Cohen, Johnny's ex-boss and boyfriend, had been stuck for his funeral expenses. The 12 letters, in parentheses somewhat censored, close parentheses, occupied the nation's front pages for 2 days. As printed, they seemed less the work of a Scarlet Woman than the outpourings of an emotionally immature older woman desperately in need of love. Even with their plethora of asterisks, it was the first time since the publication of Mary Astor's diary that the quote-unquote inside dirt of a movie star's love life had been shoveled at such length. Lana rode out the storm in many theaters. When she first appeared on screen in Peyton Place, the audience applauded and shouted, end quotes, "We're on your side, Lana," end quote. She went on to make a slick soap opera for producer Ross Hunter at Universal, Imitation of Life, directed by Douglas Sirk, S-I-R-K for Hunter, proved the biggest box office success of Lana's career. So this says, final 5 cents, weather, mostly sunny, warmer, afternoon high in upper 60s. New York Mirror, Wednesday, April 9th, 1958. And it has a Statue of Liberty. It says, Bear Lana's Love Letters. Story on page, and it doesn't say. Love you, Lenita. Burning letters from Lana Turner to Johnny Stompanato, knife slain by her teen daughter, came to light yesterday. This is one of them, end quotes. We certainly are in tune all the way, end quote. Lana says at one point. Below is a new photo of the actress. Another letter on page 3. It says Lana's love letters made headlines. I'm not even gonna attempt it. Like, I can read some of it. Let me see. I'm gonna pause this and see if I can read it. Hang on. All right, so I'm able to get enough of it, I believe. It says, Monday afternoon, my beloved love, just this morning, your something X, oh, excuse me, she spaced exciting letter arrived, and I'm quick jotting this to you to tell you I adore the way you write and all the truly beautiful things you say to me. So, something, please, dearest, continue. Every line warms me and makes me a something and miss you more each day. Something moment. It's true, it's beautiful, yet terrible, but just so is deep love. Get out of here, lady. That's so sad. Oh, darling, darling, the letter I wrote you last night was so much in the same vein, oh Lord, as your something just remind dash. So you see, we certainly are in love. Oh no, all the way. Okay, I'll adore your love. Will write tonight. Love to go to a meeting now. Oh, it looks like how she wrote love earlier. Have to go to a meeting now with the director, writers, etc. Know how dearly I love you. Angel. It looks like ciudad, but I don't know. Something. Oh yeah, no, she's writing in Spanish. It looks like ciudad y Hasi. It's H-A-C-I. Hold me, dear lover. Me macho. Chow, is it, she's saying chow chow, Papa, love you, Lanita. My Lord. Anyway, I read that. You're welcome. Okay. All right, so this is another one. It says Holly Woodham Merung, HOLLYWOOD, and the A has 2 little dots over it, and then M-MERUNG, Maryland's Big Sleep. Oh, Lord. Are they going to tell the truth about Maryland? Or are they going to play the narrative? You know what I mean? Because if you know, you know. By the 60s, old Hollywood had died. The battlements of those feudal fiefdoms, the studios, fell one by one to the enemy. RKO was taken over by television with Howard Hughes. Once the property was unloaded, pronouncing this obit, in quotes, Hollywood is through, end quote. Fans rushed to the Fox auction, in parentheses, it says Gables, bathing suits, Ty Powers, sword, who has you now, close parentheses. And the MGM auction, in parentheses, Judy's high button shoes from St. Louis, Garbo's two-faced woman ski suit. What freak fan or fanatic is wearing you at this moment, parading up and down in front of what broken mirror of the mind? Close parentheses. Fox's New York Street now only exists in memory. They have huffed and puffed and blown Andy Hardy's house down, and yet Maryland's suicide by sleeping pills in 1962 echoed the willed oblivions of so many others. Lupe, Carol Landis, Abigail Adams, Lynn Baggett, Laird, Laird, Kreger, Cregar, and many more. Maryland had been out of control. In parentheses, had she ever really in her life been in control? Close parentheses, the fiefdoms had been losing hundreds of thousands of pieces of green from the tardiness, the non-appearance of their wool-headed queen. Garbo may have preferred to be alone, but she always turned up at call sheet time, even if at dawn. Barbara Stanwyck, Stanwyck, amenable and considerate. Who could put more real meaning into one lifted eyebrow than Monroe into an entire script? Got it all over within one take and 0 tantrums. So it says Jane puckers up. And it says Jane Mansfield. In 1966, an advanced case of galloping Norma Desmonditis, Desmonditis, turned up. Corinne Griffith, the famed actress who married actor Danny Scholl on Valentine's Day 1965, asked for an annulment on the grounds the marriage was never consummated. Frail Danny collapsed on the witness stand, but the highlight came when Corinne Griffith, in parentheses, who indisputably was Corinne Griffith, close parentheses, said that she had been merely a stand-in and had assumed the identity of Corinne Griffith when Corinne Griffith had died. In 1966, Corinne Griffith was 71 years old and her non-consummated mate 44. The quote-unquote stand-in said she was, in quotes, approximately 51, end quote. The insanity of this case, in which inveterate, inveterate, lying about age became destruction of identity, has never been equaled. The embodiment of goodness, Judge Hardy, in parentheses it says Lewis Stone, Lewis, dies from a heart attack while chasing a gang of boys throwing rocks at his Beverly Hills home. Dazzling Jane Mansfield, her career on the skids, crashes to oblivion in June 1967 on a rain-slicked highway. Former child actors meet sticky ends. Bobby Driscoll ODs on methadone, methedrine. Carl, in quotes, alfalfa, Switzer is shot to death in a dope burn. Montgomery Clift and Robert Walker meet self-willed ends. Good Lord. Raymond Navarro's ghastly death by beating in 1968 brought to mind the bizarre crimes of Hollywood's past. Here was a man dying as he had lived, extravagantly, choked in his own blood. The lead Art Deco dildo, which Valentino had given him 45 years earlier, thrust down his throat. Good Lord. 2 dumb beasts, hustler brothers from Chicago, Paul and Tom Ferguson, chose October 31st, Halloween, to play Death Angels for the 60-year-old Ben-Hur. What? This is all the boys wanted was his petty cash, $5,000, which they'd heard from other hustler bums that Navarro kept hidden in his Hollywood Hills home. They tore the place apart, ripping to pieces the mementos of his long career, which meant nothing to the greedy Cretans. Souvenirs drenched in blood like Lou Tellerigan's after his harakiri. What? Harakiri? This is Death of Louis Stone. Man. And this says Death of Jane Mansfield. I've heard about her, and I think part of her head came off, and like people thought, I don't know if it's this one or not, because the top of the car was cut off. People thought that it was like a wig that was like in the, wherever they saw it, a wig in the back seat or whatever, because she was driving or something. Or no, not she was driving. I think she was in the passenger seat. There was somebody driving, and I think somebody in the back, but I'm not sure. Can't remember exactly. But anyway, once they realized that it was her, because she didn't have part of her head, right? They were like vomiting and all kinds of stuff. I mean, it was pretty crazy. It says Navarro, and this one down below, it says Paul and Tom Ferguson on trial. And this one says Navarro's body is removed from his home. But Dr. Cyclops' suicide in 1968 was more old Hollywood, and Diane Albert Dekker, D-E-K-K-E-R, decided to let it all hang out and prove that he was Mr. Kink of all time, the role he'd played in real life and the only one he believed in. So it says Albert Dekker, Kinky Suicide. For his last role, the 62-year-old character actor chose his favorite private garb, women's silk lingerie. He carefully printed in crimson lipstick on his Gone to Flab anatomy, his final notices, all of them unfavorable. Then in delicious Schadenfreude, S-C-H-A-D-E-N-F-R-E-U-D-E, he bound himself and managed to hang himself, even as his favorite handcuffs locked on his wrists for all time. This time he played the game alone in his Hollywood bathroom. He had delivered himself of his disillusionment to critic Ward. This one says Sharon Tate massacred. And this is blood on Sharon's doorstep. So it says Ward Morehouse. 8 years before reflecting on his 40-year career, in quotes, the theater is a horrible place in which to make a living. They sit you on the shelf for years. They take you off and brush you off, and later you have to find your way back to that shelf, end quote. These sentiments betray the dedication of the true bondage fan, even in regard to his profession. Dekker left no messages beyond the breathtaking tableau, T-A-B-L-E-A-U, yet another odd still life for Dr. Noguchi's N-O-G-U-C-H-I collection. George Sanders' suicide in a Spain drained of all romance was nude, lonely, elderly of soul. His note held the proper professional cynic's touch. It was goodbye to the sweet cesspool, life itself. He was bored with every bit of it. The 69 Tate massacre was not old Hollywood. What befell the Red House on Cielo, C-I-E-L-O Drive resembled the devastation caused by a jet plane crash. The bad ship Lollipop, piloted by Uncle Sugar, Charlie Manson, programmed puppet. Yes, he was CIA. Anyway. Do X garbage can, D-E-U-S. Wasted lives make waste, not tragedy. This was the Benedict Canyon where Paul Byrne shot himself. His noble shade now has mixed company. Judy's self-snuff took place in a locked London bathroom. And I just want to show you right here. It says Charlie Manson programmed puppet right there. It wasn't me inserting my own thing. Anyway, Judy's self-snuff took place in a locked London bathroom. MGM's Amphetamine Annie really made it at last after so many attempts. Pills, wrist slashings years before in her Hollywood bathroom. Hack with broken glass. It's terrible. Dorothy died seated on the quote-unquote loo But this was no over the rainbow trip. Fully dressed, crouched over as if in... Wait a minute. Oh. Okay, hold on. So this was Benedict Canyon, where Paul Byrne shot himself. His noble shade now has mixed company. So Judy, as in Judy Garland. Is that who they're talking about? That Judy? Because there's her picture on the next page over here. So she really... No, that's Dorothy. So Judy's self-snuff took place in a locked London bathroom. MGM's Amphetamine Annie really made it at last. From hack with book. God, Dorothy died. Yeah, because they're calling her Dorothy. She played Dorothy. Seated on the loo. My Lord. My Lord. Think of her upbringing and think of everything she had to go through. My hubster told me that he saw a thing where the little people that were the extras or whatever, they were like sticking their hands up her dress and everything. Her skirt and stuff. Lord. Anyway, so here's different pictures of her. That's where she was... I guess it'd be after, because she looks a little older. She's after playing Dorothy, and then this is her when she was elderly. Or maybe she wasn't elderly. Maybe she was just wearing how she felt on the inside. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing that could help her look how everybody remembered her. Anyway, I don't know how old she was. Fully dressed, crouched over, as if in meditation. Her face a welter of blood, an Aztec mask. She was hundreds of years old, the oldest star ever, if you count emotional years, the toll they take, dramas galore for a dozen lifetimes. She was, quote-unquote, she, who had stepped into the flame once too often. They have restored the Hollywood sign, just the first nine letters, Hollywood. They have strengthened the supporting poles and repainted the 10. And this is a picture of it in need of repair. It says the Hollywood sign. Man, but you know what? They put that beautifully, right? She was hundreds of years old, the oldest star ever, if you count emotional years. The toll they take, dramas galore for a dozen lifetimes. My Lord. They have restored they have strengthened, the 10. By accident or design, the remaining 4 original letters in parentheses land had been junked or have rotted away. The 13th letter, the final D, is no longer there to attempt a new peg int whistle. ENTWISTLE. New generations at Hollywood High are not even aware that the monolith on Mount Lee ever spelled anything more than the name of the smog-shrouded town, which lies below. A town that today is so Miami Beach. Tacky. They drew the letters out. On the empty stages of Columbia, where Harry Cohn's, C-O-H-N, electronic ears were once perked, they play tennis these days. In parentheses, outside on Gower Gulch, the tacked on for sale sign fades, close parentheses. Yet, sometimes after fierce rains and winds have swept the skies clean, the Egyptian blue reappears over a still Spanish, still palmed plain like the Cytherean Isle Catalina. Discerned on the horizon on a blue ribbon, the hulking, obsolete sound stages like secretive mastabas, M-A-S-T-A-B-A-S, picked out below. And we can imagine what drew the ambitious and reckless men here an age ago. End of reel. This says Con of Columbia, and then this one says Hollywood Indoor Tennis Club, White Elephants, Columbia's empty stages, tennis anyone. That's probably on the other page. Oh no, this is tennis club right there. Yeah. So I guess that's where the elephants once stood. And then here are the showgirls or whatever with some film rolls on their butts. Okay, so let me pause this real quick. I do not believe that I can read all of this beforehand, so I'm just going to show you these photos. It says, well, these are just like, it looks like from the street, the stop sign. I'll make another video reading the last little part here. This one says Jane Mansfield's dead dog, which is crazy. I don't understand. And then, oh, gotta end it there. Don't go hang you in a good chaske till we meet again. Love you, mean it.